Hello. I just picked this up for 1,200 yen last week with my friend. Absolutely love it. Let me know if you know which Pokemon this is. Okay, let's get on to the video. Last week I talked about some of my thoughts in Japan, mainly around my social life and learning Japanese. So this week I decided to talk more specifically about dating. And by the way, if you're new here, my name is Payton, I'm 23 years old, and I've been living in Tokyo for the past 4 months now. So I just wanted to do a little bit of a talk to share some of my personal experiences, because at the end of the day, this is not definitive at all. Everyone has their own unique experiences, and these are just mine. So I wanted to break it up into 3 different points. Pacing and cultural differences, what it's like being a foreigner / being black while in Japan, and also just miscellaneous things like how people meet and what it's like to even start dating here. I think the biggest difference living here and dating versus back home is the confession, also known as the kokuhaku. And the reason why this one's so different is because it's the starting line for relationships in Japan. It's someone, oftentimes the guy, saying, "I like you, will you go out with me?" And it's not really dating until someone says this. I think the reason why this does feel so different is because back home, you kind of just start hanging out and dating and things sort of just happen. Sure, you might ask someone to be your boyfriend or girlfriend, but that's after already doing boyfriend and girlfriend things for 1, 2, 3 months. Here, you start the escalation early on so that you can start doing boyfriend, girlfriend things. And that's why for me it feels so different, because oftentimes the most common timeline for when people seem to confess here is about 3 dates or hangouts, whatever. At least back home, currently in 2025, when it comes to dating, in general, 3 dates isn't usually enough to figure out if someone is gonna be your boyfriend, girlfriend. Maybe, I mean, some people like each other a lot and they know right away, but usually it might take over the course of 1 to 2 months of a few times a week of really getting to know someone. And that could be 5 dates, 10 dates, you know, however much hanging out you wanna call it. Whereas in Japan, it's centered around this 3rd date, which has kind of thrown me off a little bit. However, I think it can be easy to see it as early, but in another way too, it's just sort of the norm here. You sort of just confess so that you can find out if this person is someone you want to stay with long term or not. And it's not necessarily seen as a bad thing. Or personally for me, as someone who's been navigating that more lately, it feels very different and it's not something I'm used to, but it's been something I've been learning to try out and see how it fits with my life. So yeah. Okay, let's talk about what it's like being a foreigner, and also for me specifically being black while dating in Japan. 97% of Japan is homogeneously one ethnicity, and me coming in, I'm not. You kind of start off as a question mark. People are observing and noticing first, which is fair. I mean, that's the first impression you get, is the visual impression. And I think it just hits a lot harder here compared to back home, because here I could walk around and I might see 1 other black person in the day, maybe not at all. Foreigners on average, maybe I'll see 1 or 2. Back home, well, everyone's just the same. Maybe it's kind of hard to tell who's not and who is, because America is so ethnically diverse. So that doesn't really happen. You're the person who's talked to at the group. Someone may ask you a lot of questions and be very curious about you. But on the other hand too, you're also not invisible. So you're perceived a lot, and that can be more than you want, and it can also be, it can cause feelings that you may not want. I think the most important thing for me specifically, being black and of course being a foreigner, is does somebody see this as an experience and a novelty or something genuine? Does the person ask more about me and my interests, what I think about, and curious about my life, or does somebody simply want to just touch my hair? It's an extremely important thing to filter out for, so that I'm not, you know, treated like an object. On the flip side of this, I think being a foreigner, it does bring me a lot of joy personally to learn about someone else's culture while also sharing my own. I love talking about like the differences, like right now, of what it's like doing things back at home here and just how different things are. I personally feel like Japanese culture is probably about as different of a culture from America as you can get. So it is really fun talking about things like traditions, food, what you're into, what you watch, what you listen to, even just things, the way people think here. It's just so different. And I think it's really enjoyable to share those experiences with someone else. And I think that cultural overlap can be something that can be great, but again, it can also be something that can cause friction too, because again, things here are so different that could also mean the way people express their love, the way people text, the way people show up for relationships, how people communicate. Everything is so different that it could also be quite a big cultural hurdle to overcome. And of course, things like language barrier. Is somebody's lack of Japanese, like mine, somebody who's learning but cannot speak above a grade level of 3, is that too big of a hurdle, or is that something that somebody is more open to working with? That is a huge thing. And there's so many differences that make something like dating here so layered that it's both exciting but also confusing and difficult. So yeah, to wrap that up, I just think that it can be a double-edged sword dating as someone who's foreign / being Black, because it brings about curiosity, novelty, very different cultural lens that you have to look through for both parties. But on the other hand too, it can also be a very enriching time period because it really helps you reflect on how you show up when it comes to dating, and it also makes you learn more about what you might look for in somebody that you just wouldn't get back at home, and maybe things that you might find too big of a hurdle. So it goes both ways, and I think it's very interesting. I think another really important point to talk about is how intentional dating feels compared to America. I think there's a very sharp contrast between how dating feels in America compared to Japan, because Japan feels so much more intentional, which is something I very much appreciate. I think in 2025 as a whole, there's so much ambiguity in dating. Say it with me. There's so much ambiguity in dating. Things feel very lost very quickly due to things like situationships. People have too many options because they can swipe to the next person. There's ghosting, talking stages. There's a lot going on, and I think it makes for a very confusing and difficult time to date. I think Japan's structure does a good job at moving beyond all of that and kind of sifting through a lot of the noise. Now again, this is just something I've noticed, so I'm not saying every person's like this. I think in general, 2025 is a difficult time to date as a whole, but it's something I do notice here. And for the last point, something I wanted to talk about is how people actually meet here. Something I actually touched on in the last video of social life in Japan is how difficult it can feel to break into groups, but once you're in, you're welcomed with open arms. And I think this is the exact same thing, but for dating. So while there are similar pipelines for how people meet in Japan versus back home, you know, people still use dating apps here, people still meet at school, work, bars, whatever. But I think the main ways that these pipelines exist, the weight of where people meet is very different. I think for me, what I've noticed is that a lot of the relationships that people have here seem to come off of school, like heavily weighted towards school. Now, of course, you have things like work too, which, you know, you can have workplace relationships. Now, I think the reason why this makes things so different coming in as a foreigner is that not only is my level of Japanese a lot lower, I also don't have the social connections to people to be able to just slot myself into friend groups and start meeting people right away. So the initial stages of meeting people and also maintaining these pipelines of meeting people is lower than back home. At home, I could strike up a conversation with a random person at a coffee shop, or a friend of a friend could invite me to a party and I could meet somebody. Here I don't have that built in, and it's a lot harder for me to just join a group because a lot of the groups here too have also been friends since middle school, high school, or just college. For example, a lot of people I've met too have only been in 1 or 2 relationships, but they were relationships since high school or college. And a lot of the times too, they might end up getting married. Whereas back home, you might meet somebody when you're 18, date someone again when you're 21, 24, 25. There's all different periods to meet people. So if you're not meeting people in the college ecosystem, it's a lot more uphill. It's not impossible. I can still talk to anybody that I want to, but specifically for an ease of meeting people, it becomes a lot more of a challenge. And I think for me, the people who are curious, patient, flexible, open-minded are people I tend to vibe with the most, because I think that's where things like cross-cultural dating can shine, because there's more of a curious, enriching element versus friction and hurdles. And I think that's what makes things more enjoyable, when you both can grow and learn from each other versus seeing things that happen along the way as roadblocks. So yeah, at least a common baseline for people that I vibe with more, because things don't feel like a question mark of something to be careful of, but rather something to be curious towards. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you enjoyed, I appreciate you for stopping by. If you have any comments or questions, please let me know. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Arigatou gozaimasu. Mata ne.